In today's fast-paced world, it can feel impossible to say no. Requests come at us from every direction. Work commitments, social obligations, even requests for favors from friends or family. Many of us feel pressured to say yes, fearing we'll let others down or miss out on opportunities. But this constant yes mentality can leave us overwhelmed, drained, and disconnected from our true purpose. The Stoic philosophers, however, teach us that mastering the art of saying no is key to living a life of integrity and inner peace. For the Stoics, saying no isn't about rejecting others or isolating yourself. It's about protecting your time, energy, and values. In this video, we'll explore how Stoicism empowers us to embrace the power of no, and how this simple word can transform our lives by helping us focus on what truly matters. The Stoic value of living according to your principles. The foundation of Stoicism is living in alignment with one's values. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote extensively in his meditations about staying true to one's principles, regardless of what others demand or expect. Stoicism encourages us to reflect on what's genuinely important to us and to prioritize our actions accordingly. When we constantly say yes to every request, we risk drifting away from our values and goals. We might end up spending more time on things that don't align with our deeper purpose, leaving us feeling frustrated and scattered. The Stoics remind us that saying no is an essential tool for staying committed to our true path. For example, if you value personal growth and self-reflection, you might choose to say no to excessive social obligations that drain your time. Instead, you can focus on activities that nurture your growth, like reading, journaling, or practicing mindfulness. Saying no becomes an act of honoring your values rather than pleasing others. Recognizing what's within your control. The Stoics believed that peace of mind comes from distinguishing between what's within our control and what isn't. When we say yes to things out of obligation, guilt, or fear of disappointing others, we're often focusing on things outside our control, like other people's expectations or opinions. But we have no power over how others react. We only control our own actions and decisions. Epictetus, another influential Stoic, taught that we should prioritize our own well-being by focusing on what we can control. This includes the ability to say no to demands that don't align with our values or capacity. When we embrace our power to choose, we become less affected by external pressures and more in tune with our inner purpose. For example, if someone asks you to take on extra work and you know it will impact your personal life or health, saying no is a way of respecting what's within your control. By doing so, you're practicing Stoic wisdom, choosing your response based on what you value and can influence, rather than getting swept up in what others want. Practicing self-discipline through the power of no. Self-discipline is a core Stoic virtue, essential for building resilience and inner strength. The Stoics believe that true freedom comes from mastering oneself, and a huge part of that mastery is saying no to impulses, distractions, or commitments that detract from our goals. Think of self-discipline as training a muscle. Each time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you strengthen your ability to focus on what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of setting boundaries with himself to stay aligned with his responsibilities as an emperor and a Stoic. In today's world, where distractions are endless, from social media to work emails, saying no becomes even more powerful. When we say no to these distractions, we reclaim control over our time and focus, reinforcing our discipline and commitment to growth. For instance, by saying no to the temptation of endless scrolling on social media, you can redirect that time and energy toward more meaningful pursuits, like learning a new skill or investing in your well-being. In this way, no becomes a tool for building the discipline that Stoicism values so highly. Embracing no as a path to inner peace. Negative emotions often arise when we overcommit ourselves. When we say yes to too many obligations, we can feel resentful, anxious, or overwhelmed. The Stoics teach us that inner peace comes from maintaining a balanced mind, free from excessive stress or pressure. By saying no, we create space for calmness and mindfulness. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher and statesman, often wrote out the dangers of living a life driven by the demands of others. He warned that constantly striving to please others or fulfill their expectations can leave us feeling empty. By practicing the power of no, we protect our inner peace, making room for the relationships and activities that genuinely bring us joy and satisfaction. Imagine you're asked to attend a gathering when you're already feeling burnt out. By saying no, you're respecting your need for rest and peace. You're choosing not to jeopardize your well-being to meet someone else's expectations, staying true to yourself instead. Using no to cultivate meaningful relationships. While it might seem counterintuitive, saying no can actually strengthen relationships. When we say yes all the time, we risk overextending ourselves, which can lead to burnout, resentment, or even strained connections with others. The Stoics believed that authentic relationships are built on honesty and mutual respect, including respecting each other's boundaries. By saying no when necessary, we show others that we value our time and commitments, setting a standard for healthy interactions. When we communicate our boundaries with clarity and respect, we allow others to see and understand our true priorities. This, in turn, fosters deeper, more genuine connections based on trust and authenticity. For instance, if a friend frequently asks you to meet up when you're busy with important projects, politely saying no can help them understand your priorities. Over time, this establishes mutual respect, strengthening the friendship in the process. Saying no in this way isn't a rejection. It's an affirmation of what truly matters. Overcoming the fear of saying no. Many of us struggle to say no because we fear disappointing others or being judged. But Stoicism teaches us to overcome this fear by detaching from the opinions of others. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself repeatedly not to be swayed by other people's judgments, focusing instead on his own principles and inner values. If we allow the fear of judgment to dictate our actions, we end up sacrificing our autonomy and values. Stoicism encourages us to focus on our own integrity and purpose, rather than seeking approval. Saying no becomes a way to practice this detachment, breaking free from the need for external validation. For example, if someone asks you to take on extra responsibilities at work and you're already stretched thin, saying no might feel uncomfortable. But by doing so, you're choosing self-respect over fear. You're showing that your well-being and existing commitments come first, even if it risks disappointing others. Practicing the Stoic art of no with grace and respect. While the Stoics advocate for saying no when necessary, they also emphasize the importance of kindness and respect. Stoicism isn't about being rigid or harsh. It's about being true to yourself while remaining considerate of others. When saying no, we can approach it with humility and empathy, respecting the other person's needs while staying grounded in our own priorities. A thoughtful no shows others that we value their request, even if we can't fulfill it. By communicating our boundaries kindly, we set an example of respectful self-care. For instance, if a colleague asks for help on a project, but you're already handling multiple tasks, you might say, "I appreciate you thinking of me, but I need to focus on my current responsibilities." This way, you're honoring both your boundaries and their request in a balanced way. Outro. Embracing the Stoic power of no. The power of no is one of the most empowering lessons Stoicism has to offer. By practicing this art, we protect our time, energy, and values, allowing us to focus on what truly matters. In a world that constantly demands our attention, saying no becomes an act of self-respect and inner strength, helping us live with greater clarity, purpose, and peace. Remember, no isn't a rejection of others. It's an affirmation of our own principles. The Stoics teach us that true freedom lies in mastering ourselves, setting boundaries, and embracing the courage to say no when it aligns with our values. So, next time you're faced with a decision, ask yourself, does this align with my principles, or is it a distraction from my path? By practicing the Stoic power of no, we not only empower ourselves, but also inspire others to live with integrity, authenticity, and purpose. In the end, no becomes a path to a more balanced, meaningful life, one that reflects our true selves and brings us closer to inner peace. The power of saying no can transform your life, just as the Stoics taught us centuries ago. By embracing this simple yet profound word, you take control of your time, protect your values, and walk the path toward inner peace. If this resonated with you, start practicing the art of saying no today. Reflect on your values, set your boundaries, and live with intention. And if you're ready for more Stoic wisdom to guide you on your journey, don't forget to subscribe to Ash Owl Stoicism, where we explore the timeless principles that lead to a life of clarity and purpose. Stay grounded, stay true, and keep seeking wisdom.